Millions of people wake up every morning carrying invisible pain. Some are fighting poverty. Some are fighting loneliness. Some are fighting the voice inside their own mind, telling them they are not good enough. And maybe you are one of them. But today's story is for every person who has ever felt invisible, for every dreamer who was underestimated, for every soul who wanted to give up, but didn't. This is the story of a boy named Elias. A boy nobody believed in. A boy who almost gave up on himself. Until one day, he discovered something that changed his life forever. Far away from the busy cities, hidden between mountains and forests, there was a small forgotten town. Most people there lived simple lives. They worked. They survived. And they repeated the same routine every single day. Among them lived a thin, quiet boy named Elias. He lived with his mother in a tiny wooden house near the edge of the forest. The roof leaked during storms. The walls shook when strong winds came. And during winter nights, the cold became unbearable. Elias lost his father when he was very young. Since then, life became heavy. Too heavy for a child. Every morning before sunrise, Elias carried wood into town to sell. Sometimes people ignored him completely. Sometimes they laughed at him. "You'll always stay poor. People like you never succeed. Dreams are for lucky people." Those words followed him everywhere, like shadows. Slowly, Elias began believing them. At night, he would sit outside the house, looking at the stars. And deep inside his heart, he carried one painful question. Why was I born into this life? One evening, his mother noticed the sadness in his eyes. She sat beside him quietly. Then she asked, "Elias, what scares you the most?" He lowered his head. "I'm scared that my life will never change." His mother smiled softly. Then she said something he would remember forever. The world often ignores people before it finally notices their light. A few days later, Elias went deep into the forest searching for wood. Rain clouds slowly gathered above him. The wind became colder. As he walked near an old cliff, something unusual caught his attention. A faint blue glow, hidden beneath the dirt. Curious, he knelt down and began digging carefully. After several minutes, he pulled out a strange crystal-like stone. It looked rough on the outside, covered in mud and scratches. But inside, there was light. A soft, mysterious glow. Elias stared at it silently. He had never seen anything like it before. He took the stone home. That night, while the storm raged outside, the crystal faintly illuminated the dark room. His mother looked at it carefully. "Where did you find this?" "In the forest." His mother's eyes filled with curiosity. "Sometimes," she whispered, "the most valuable things are hidden beneath the dirt." The next morning, Elias brought the crystal into town. He showed it to a merchant. The merchant laughed loudly. "It's just a useless rock." Another man offered him a small loaf of bread for it. Someone else told him to throw it away. Every person saw something different, but nobody saw value. As Elias walked away disappointed, an old traveler stopped him. The traveler wore a dark coat and carried a leather bag filled with books. "May I see the stone?" Elias handed it over carefully. The old man became silent. For several seconds, he simply stared at the crystal. Then he smiled. "Interesting. What is it?" Elias asked. The traveler looked directly into his eyes. Most people only see the dirt on the surface. But rare things hide their beauty deeply. Those words hit Elias harder than expected. Because for the first time in his life, someone wasn't just talking about the crystal. They were talking about him. That night, Elias made a decision. He would leave the town. He would search for a better future. His mother hugged him tightly before sunrise. "You may fail many times," she said, "but never become the person who stops trying." With almost no money, Elias traveled toward the city. The city was loud, fast, cold. Nobody cared about anyone. At first, life became even harder. He worked construction during the day, cleaned restaurants at night, and slept in tiny crowded rooms. There were nights he cried silently from exhaustion. Nights he questioned everything. But still, he kept moving forward. Months passed. Elias slowly saved enough money to start a small business selling handmade items. He believed this was finally his chance. For a short time, things went well. Customers came. Money started growing. Hope returned. But success can disappear quickly. One terrible month, everything collapsed. His business failed. Debt consumed him. He lost nearly everything. People mocked him again. "You were foolish for dreaming too big. You should have stayed in your village. You are not special." Those words destroyed him inside. One rainy evening, Elias sat alone beneath a streetlight, completely broken. He stared at the ground and whispered, "Maybe they were right about me." For the first time in years, he wanted to quit. As Elias sat there in silence, he suddenly remembered the crystal. He reached into his old bag and pulled it out. Even after all this time, the light inside still remained. Then he realized something powerful. The crystal never lost its value, just because people failed to recognize it. And neither did he. At that moment, something awakened inside him. He understood that failure does not define a person. Giving up does. The next morning, Elias stood up again. Not because life became easier, but because he finally understood that strength is built through suffering. This time, Elias changed his mindset completely. He began studying successful people. He read books every night. He learned communication skills, discipline, leadership, patience. He stopped wasting time complaining and started using pain as fuel. Years passed. Slowly, his life transformed. He built a successful company. He inspired others. People who once ignored him now respected him. But the most important thing was this: he no longer needed the world's approval to believe in himself. One winter morning, Elias returned to his hometown. The town looked exactly the same, but he had changed completely. Children gathered around him curiously. One little boy asked, "How did you become successful?" Elias smiled gently. Then he held up the glowing crystal. "This stone taught me everything." The children listened carefully. Elias continued, "Most people judge value too quickly. They look at your appearance, your failures, your background. But none of those things decide your future." Then he looked at the children and said, "Never let small-minded people decide how far you can go." To the person watching this video right now, listen carefully. You may feel lost today. You may feel invisible. You may feel like your dreams are impossible. But never forget this: some of the greatest people in history were once ignored by everyone around them. Success is not reserved for the lucky. Success belongs to people who refuse to stop walking forward. A diamond buried underground still remains a diamond, and your value does not disappear just because others failed to see it. One day, the world will see your light. But first, you must learn to believe in it yourself. Your struggles are not proof that you are weak. They are proof that you are becoming stronger.